All right, looks like everything's set up and ready to rock. What is going on, guys? And welcome to the Xbox Roundtable podcast. This is episode number 162, a great place on Sunday nights for Xbox talk and more from around the game industry. Of course, I'm your host, Invader, and thank you all for tuning into the show. We broadcast to a wide variety of platforms, and we are always happy to see you here wherever you're joining us from. We've got a lot of things on the docket to discuss tonight, ranging from various Halo rumors and news making the rounds, Xbox quite possibly making some big announcements at the upcoming Video Game Awards show, and Microsoft acquiring an esports company, and so much more. However, first, let me introduce everybody on the TXR panel, and I will start with Tim Dog. Hey, Tim, buddy, how you been, man?
Good. I've been a little sick over the weekend, over the last 2 weeks, but feeling better. I got tested for corona. It was negative, so just kind of get myself back to up to snuff. You know what I mean? Just been a little weak and feeling better. I go back to work Thursday, so I have a couple of days off to recover.
Nice, buddy. Yeah, I got tested for my second time for that. Thankfully, second time negative as well. So, hey, we're pretty lucky fellas, right?
Yeah. I was tested twice, and both times no. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, we are quite lucky on that one. We're both healthy, all considering. All right, moving down the list. Jeremy, what's up, brother?
What's up, my Canadian brethren? How you doing? Hope everyone has a great Sunday. I can't wait until Cyberpunk's out. I know it's a few more days left to go, but I haven't been this excited for a video game in a long time. I think what I want everyone to do is kind of block out what you're going to be hearing, over the course of the next few days, even weeks, with all the YouTube and Twitter banter, about some of the bugs and issues. But I think when all is said and done, people are going to be talking about this game for a long time. They're going to be playing this game for a very long time. And I don't think people really understand, just how big this game is going to be, because it's going to be huge. And we're talking like bigger than GTA, bigger than probably any other game that's been released for sure in the last 10 years. It's probably not even close, but I think when all is said and done, I think Cyberpunk's going to be remembered as one of the greatest games ever made. So I'm looking forward to this coming, what is it, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, right? Yeah.
Yep, Thursday's the big day.
Man, it's finally here. So I'm looking forward to that.
So is everybody here, though, going to be playing it day one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, though, maybe I should just give it a week for them to iron out kind of the kinks. Maybe just a bug here or there. And
no, I think you got to understand that all these games, especially in this massive open world like Cyberpunk is, and some of the tech that's behind it, and just the sheer size and scope of the game, there's going to be huge bugs, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you it's going to be something special. And again, it's something that's never been done before, I think, on a game of this scale. So we're in for a real treat come Thursday.
Yeah, it's the game-saving bugs that scare me the most. I know the bugs, the hitches, and the falling through the floors. I get all of that stuff. That's the one thing that kind of just gives me, it makes me nervous. It's just that if I get, I put in about, 10 hours of gameplay, and I try to save it, and I think my save's there, I come back to it, and it's gone. So that's the one big. It could be a small thing that turns into a gigantic thing, because my time with gaming, sometimes is limited because life. So I would hate for that to happen.
I could see myself. Well, of course, when Halo comes out, whenever that is, but I could see myself playing this game for an entire year without getting bored of it.
Right. Yeah, I think.
Also, I just want to point out real quick, Invader, when we're talking about bugs, I've been kind of here thinking in my head, I can't remember too many games off the top of my head anyways, at least recently, that had a significant bug that would actually affect saving. The only one that really comes to mind,
right?
Well, the only one that comes to mind recently is Watch Dogs, and like that's the only one I can think of. So I can understand why somebody would be cautious, but also at the same time, we're talking about a rare bug compared to, seeing some kind of graphical hitch or something else. Generally they've got the save situation pretty figured out on most games. I mean, it sucks that Ubisoft had that bug actually occur for them.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a pretty terrible glitch. I think there's a few guys that I'm familiar with that had hours just
So
gone.
But we're also talking about a game that is honestly pushing the boundaries of, I guess, what you could say is capable of an NPC. Normally we're talking about NPCs that are just, pre-made characters, predetermined characters that are just kind of filler to a game. But we're talking about Watch Dogs Legion, a game where it actually has to randomly kind of generate some of these characters. And I just feel like the inherent nature of what they tried to create, because obviously the game needs to constantly save itself and auto save itself. I feel like that's where they probably got something wrong in the code of the game, just because of how complex the game really truly is.
Mhm.
Yeah, but in a lot of these open world games, for example, games like Fallout and Skyrim, they have game saving bugs where you can be in a certain place at a certain point, and once you try to escape it, there's some sort of enemy waiting for, and you automatically just die. Just no matter what you do, either you get stuck or you die.
In the old days when they did that with when you had one single autosave, I remember that it would autosave as you'd come to the door, and you just basically are stuck in this perpetual loop of just dying. I guess that's why a lot of games now have like 2 or 3 autosaves, so you can actually go back one past that one autosave that basically created the death loop. But I guess in your defense, in talking about like game breaking bugs, I remember when Fallout 4 brought out mods, and it was pretty much one of the first time mods had been really done on a console outside of, I guess you could say, cheat codes in the past.
Well, Skyrim was the first, but yeah.
Well, I think Fallout 4 came out before the remake of Skyrim, where they put the mods in. So the mods were only on 360 at the time. I don't think I was using them or something like that. But for me, that was my first encounter with mods. And I remember I downloaded one to try to put more vegetation, and it totally screwed up the game. And that mod had actually infected 3 or 4 saves. I actually ended up having to go back a couple hours just to get that mod to stop like screwing with my game.
All right. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably pick it up not on release day, but I will be picking it up maybe about a week or so afterwards, guys. But I do really want to play it. I am excited. All right, going further down the list here, Eric Shockley, buddy. Hey, what's happening, man? How you been the past week?
Not bad. Just been moving on to a digital life on my Switch, getting rid of all my physical games. I've always kind of fought with that just because I felt like Nintendo's just feel like they were gonna like lock everything away like they did with like the Wii, and I feel like especially with their changing the online service, now they're actually putting like a lot of their cloud saves, kind of like unifying the service. I feel like they're gonna keep that around at least this next decade. So it's been a lot better experience with the Switch when you actually can use it as a mobile device and you're not just out, hey, I didn't bring this cartridge with me. Oh, I want to play that game. Oh, well, I don't have it with me. So,
how many Switch games did you have, Shock?
I think I had like 20 something. But luckily, they had some of those Black Friday sales on the digital store, so I kind of used that to. That's a good time to like, hey, I can get close to my money back for a lot of the games that I own. So, been definitely doing that. You get a lot of money, or a decent amount back with the their gold coins. You actually get, if you pre-order a first-party game, they actually give you basically $6 back in credit.
Yeah,
so it's actually. Whereas if you get the cart, you only get 60 cents, which is ridiculous. But
yeah, they still got a long way to go with that. But I see what you're saying, man.
So shocked with the whole coin bit. When all my Switch games are all digital. I probably have about 43 Switch games, all digital, and Nintendo sells games for like 23 cents, for 5 cents, occasionally, and you could buy those with the coins, so you can grow your library that way.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you do it too late and it's physical, they won't even give you any of the coins. Which was like I just bought like Fire Emblem, like physical, and it was like, yeah, it's been too long, so you don't get any coins. Like really? It's still a relatively new-ish game. I mean, I think it came out last year, but
I don't know. I'm surprised you got rid of your collection. It seems like with Nintendo's games, they don't go down in value; they go up for the most part, especially the ones that are in house.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like when you open up a lot of the games, sometimes there's not even like artwork in the inside sleeve, so it's just like, what's the point? Like there's this little card that I could easily lose. Like those things are so small. But I don't know. It just feels so much. It's definitely feeling so much better with the Switch now that it's like just digital. I'm like, oh great, all my games are always with me whenever I have my Switch with me, which just kind of goes in with more of the mobile aspect of the system. And all my other games are digital, so it's like, why do I have this? Like, this is the only one that's like holding me back. So I'm like just going all in now. So that's been fun. It wasn't fun to restart my save on Final Fantasy X, but because I had bought that's the other thing. You buy a physical copy, and Square in North America puts Final Fantasy X on the cart. 10.2, it's a digital download code, and you have to have the cart in to play the digital download. It's ridiculous. But if you bought it in Asia, it's all in one
Get the
cart.
region,
Because they know
region free version.
people in Asia aren't going to screw around with that. So, but the save file didn't transfer when I sold it off and then tried to download the North American copy. I was like, really? There's like nothing different about the game other than the packaging. But
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
all right. Moving further down the list here, Megatron, man, how you been the past week?
Been good, man. Relax, play some games. Filling up on this Arbor Mist here. What is this? Some mango strawberry. I'm already feeling it. I've been playing some Yakuza, and I absolutely love it. Finally got the game out of my trunk. I tell you what, though, I haven't downloaded a game from a disc into the hard drive in years. I think Battlefield was the last one. Battlefield and Forza Motorsport 5 were the last two games I think I downloaded. I bought the disc and had to download from the disc into the hard drive. So I just kind of realized that I've been so digital for so long that to do it just didn't feel right. It usually is the norm of things, but this in the age with buying all digital games, and having access that way, it just felt off to me. But other than that, man, I played Yakuza. Been playing the hell out of Destiny as usual. I played a couple of indie games on Game Pass, and I can't remember the names of them. But I'm ready to go, man. Let's start the show. Oh, wait a minute. South?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello there, South.
What in the world?
South, what are you doing? It's not E3 yet.
It's the 110.
Hey, you know what? Get prepared, brother. You already know. Creeping back with the new year.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Likewise. How's everybody
Pour
doing?
myself another just for this occasion.
Yeah. How's everybody been, man? I miss you fuckers.
I've been good. Chilling, gaming, working.
Yeah, I'm playing
business as usual.
Valhalla, man. That game was sick.
Oh, yeah?
Man, Assassin's Creed, oh, man. You know what? That's, they messed up a couple years ago. You know what I mean? It kind of got a little, like dry. It was just kind of repetitive. But, ever since, Odyssey came out and Origins, man, they've just been killing it. And Valhalla is just another, masterpiece. I'm loving it, bro. I mean, shit. And especially on the Series X, shit. It's so beautiful, man. I'm in love.
Nice. I was just gonna ask you if you were playing on the new consoles yet, but yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got my X, but you know what's crazy is Valhalla actually bricked my console.
Mm.
What?
Yeah, bro. So I got it. I got it on. Okay, so it came out on Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hooked everything up, and literally 10 minutes into the game, Valhalla. Has anybody played it?
I have
I
it.
have. I have.
Okay, so in the beginning when you're the little kid, you start dancing this shit, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, go give the king this, that, whatever." As soon as that, boom. As soon as the fight started, my console just dead. Boom. And I was like, "What the?" It wouldn't even turn on. Nothing. Just cold
Exactly what
turkey.
happened to me.
No shit. Yeah. But luckily, I reached out to a couple people, and so this happened on Wednesday, and by Saturday, I had my console again. So you know what,
Nice.
Microsoft, yeah, Xbox, Microsoft, I mean, second to none. Their customer service was excellent. The only problem is, at first is they wanted me to like put a down payment of like $500, and I was like, bro, I just bought the console and I got the Elite controller for almost 200 plus, the plug and play. Like, come on, man, I can't put another 500. I just can't afford it. Like, what do you expect? So like I said, I reached out to a couple people and they're like, hey, don't trip. As soon as you send yours in, boom, we got you. So they overnighted it, boom. You know what I mean? And it was just like I said, easy peasy. Xbox, support was second to none, and I can't thank them enough.
Wow.
Nice.
Damn, South. Damn. All right. No, South, great to have you on here, buddy. Just going to move on to the last person on the panel, Centurion Bud. How's things at your end?
What is up, guys? It is Sunday night. It has been a good week of hanging Christmas decorations and just. I actually finally got around to playing some games here the past couple nights. Uh, because of Downer, I feel like I'm stuck playing games that have like an Asian background. I can't stop playing Yakuza or Code Vein.
Yeah, Code Vein is a really good game, but that Yakuza, man, that game's sick.
Yakuza's a
Were you
good
talking
game.
about
I'm
the new
enjoying
Yakuza?
it.
Is it
Huh?
the new one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's out already. I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was
Yakuza
out
like a
already.
dragon.
Yo, okay, yeah. Man, there's just so many games coming out in the last like month. It's hard to keep up. Like you
I'm
guys were
right. It's
talking
on
about.
sale right now at Best Buy for like $35.
Yeah, but I hate
They're, like,
physical, man.
turn-based?
You know what? Yeah,
It is
physical.
turn based. It is, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just getting to that. Like Downer said last week, like that game has like a very, it kind of reminded me of like Red Dead Redemption 2. Remember how the beginning of that game, it was like totally you're stuck in snow for like hours. I'm just to that point where I believe Yakuza's about to open up, and so I'm having fun with it so far, but I'm also addicted to, I guess, the gameplay of Code Vein because I'm just starting to get the idea of, attacking and blocking. And actually, I guess I kind of had my first dose of it in playing Jedi Fallen Order. I remember that was one of the things I enjoyed about Jedi
No,
Fallen
that
Order.
Code Vein's more like the
Oh,
Dark
no, it's
Souls
way
series.
more, but I enjoyed how I remember how in a lot of games when you have a lightsaber at that point you're just running around striking dudes down, just totally running amok. In Jedi Fallen Order, there was actually a strategy to wielding the lightsaber. If you just ran in there just trying to wave the thing around, you'd get your ass handed to you by certain dudes.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the Dark. It's like the Dark Souls
There
series.
was a boss where I'm stuck on that. And I mean, for the life of me, I cannot beat him.
The old man with the two lightsabers.
Yep, I can't beat
You
him
got to
for the
go
life.
back and you got to level your character up to where you have more health, because that's where I got stuck. And I was like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to start exploring. Like, you actually have to explore and find the secrets and stuff. And as you do that,
Oh yeah,
you get to carry more
I just
health.
get wrecked, bro. You know what I mean? And like, there was a time where I mean, he had just a hair of life left and health. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, and he just did a crazy move and killed me. And I was like, dude, I almost broke my controller. I was like, I'm fuck
When
this.
you
I'm done.
record yourself playing games for obviously for background for YouTube videos, that's when you really realize how much time you actually waste on some things. I remember when I first started fighting that guy, I started the recording and it was a 1 hour recording. And after an hour, I still hadn't defeated him. I basically had spent an hour just letting that dude kick my.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I spent more time than that. The hour, I wish it was just an hour. It was literally like
No,
maybe
after an hour,
7, 8.
I turned around and gave up.
Yeah, no,
Apparently-
I literally put about 7, 8 hours. Damn, Downer, are you in the bathroom? You stroking it or what?
Well, apparently you guys don't play Dark Souls enough because Dark Souls is exactly like that.
No, I have no. I never played Dark Souls.
No, I never played.
I
that,
will
no.
be truthful on that.
I hear too many horror stories about that. That series. Everyone's like, it's so hard, I can't play. So I'm like, you know what? I don't have the patience for something like
How
that.
about compare Dark Souls to Code Vein, Downer?
Oh my! It's not even close.
I'm hearing, but
Okay,
I'm
that's all I
hearing-
need to know.
Code Vein is it's easier in comparison, though. To
Yeah, it's
Dark
not
Souls.
even, it's not even close. Dark
Yeah.
Souls is one of these games where you turn a corner and you're stuck on it for an hour because it's so
Oh
hard.
my god!
Well, at
Yeah,
least with Dark
so-
Souls 3, you got co-op, so you got some help, someone to kind of.
No, sorry.
Even still,
You get wrecked in that game big time.
There are some times I've gotten frustrated at Code Vein, so yeah, I guess that means I would probably want to destroy Dark Souls.
So Dark Souls is literally the only game where I've yelled and screamed at the screen in horror because it was so frustrating.
Why? Because you're in the bathroom and you can't let it out.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, all right,
Hey,
guys.
is Cold Vein on Game Pass or what?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Well,
it
hey,
was on sale though. It was on sale for like 26
well, I
bucks.
just
Yeah, it was
quick.
like
Target got it for 19. GameStop has it for 17. eBay, you can get it for $10, and Walmart has it for 19.
Damn.
damn, dude. Well, hey, at some
So
point it
yeah,
might
so
be.
under $20, you can get it damn near anywhere. So that's pretty good.
All right, fellas. As a reminder, everyone, you can find us on a variety of podcasting platforms. We are on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a bunch of other places. Just search TXR Podcast to listen to us on the go wherever you're at. Hey, we're always expanding, right? And also, this is a kind of bit of news to everybody, well, to some of us on the panel, but next week we will, you guys better keep your eyes peeled on next week's show. We will be giving away a game that is also coming out next week, a game that we have been sort of alluding to. So keep your eyes peeled on next week's show, guys. We are going to be dropping something big in the chat, so stay tuned for that. All right.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it's kind of been discussed before the show, so a lot of
Hey,
people
I
would have noticed.
I gotta know, is it that new Barbie game? Because I gotta get my bots ready.
Ooh, Barbie, love it. I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah, it's Barbie X My Little Pony, so
I love it.
It's Division 2, everybody. How about that, Downer?
Hey, Downer's gonna be excited for that.
If you can get off the pot in time.
Yeah, the fappening.
Yeah,
All right.
you know,
Downer, sound
you know
like you're in the
things-
basketball.
You know things were hard when we're giving away the Division 2 as a gift.
You know what, Downer? We could have tried giving away Gears 5.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, that's true.
But
But we did.
Okay, guys, let's start getting into the topics. And, for the first topic, over the past week or so, we've seen a couple of Halo rumors start to pop up. Recently, Bruce Thomas, he's the actor who performs motion capture for Master Chief. Well, he did an interview recently. And when he was speaking of Halo Infinite, he states that, as far as I know, it's in the can. It's ready to go for next spring. Now, granted, that's assuming he doesn't have to go back and do any kind of additional motion capture work. But guys, I'm curious what your thoughts are of his comments. And I'll start off with you, Megatron. Do you believe we'll see Halo Infinite release sometime this spring, or do you think that it'll get pushed back further?
I think we'll see Halo Infinite sometime this year. I mean, this guy,
unless
it's
next year.
next year. I'm sorry. Unless Microsoft, for me, announces it officially, I'm not going to really. I'll take it as it is for what he says. Of course, he's doing mocap for Master Chief. He could be somebody that knows, but who knows? This 2020 has been a hell of a year. 2021 is looking, it's going to be the same thing all over again, man. I'm just take your time with the game, make it right, and just kind of go from there. It's just right now, it's just a rumor. Until they announce it officially, I'm not worrying about it. Like you said earlier, we got so many games to play. Valhalla, Yakuza, all these other games. It is what it is. I think somebody from Microsoft said, I can't remember who. It may have been Phil. He said something about, maybe it's even better because we'll have more consoles out for them to take advantage of the hardware and, to play Halo on that. To me, it's just a rumor. I really don't try. I try not to more and more, being on Twitter and then, YouTube and seeing all those, falling for the rumors and hoping and praying, and then all of a sudden it doesn't pan out the way I want it. Of course, Halo is an iconic, game, and it just has to be right. I think that's the most important thing. And then, as always, like Phil says, people have to be safe. I'd rather see them be safe, take the time to make the game, and if it comes out in the spring, I'm happy. If it doesn't, it just means they're going to be, just taking their time in developing. So.
You know what? It's crazy because everybody was like, they threw their hands up like, oh, it's not coming out. We're not tied up for Series X. And you know what? I'm glad that they pushed it back because it's like, Cyberpunk. Hey, get the game right. I'd rather them get the game right and get some bugs or whatever, because there's a lot of memes and everything that came out about it. So I'd rather them get the game right and have to wait an extra, 6-7 months than it comes out and it's full of bugs and people are just clowning it. And it's just like, because like I said, when they did that little, test, when they showed it, a few months back, everybody was just dogging it. Even Downer was laughing about it. It's like, really?
I mean,
so
it ripped it apart. And I'm like, that's Halo. Like, shut your mouth.
Right.
Listen, I took it. Listen, I get it. It's Twitter, but I took it to heart. I mean, that's Halo. I did play today. Play the first
it's one of the crown jewels of the Xbox's, ensemble.
Xbox and in gaming in general. I mean, it's epic, man. It's one of the best first-person shooters out. The LAN parties. Shout out to K-Mega and Iron Lords. Yeah. They went over it. K-Mega was on Iron Lords podcast earlier today. They went over Halo.
Oh yeah. Check it out.
Iconic, man. It was a great show, by the way. Those guys are phenomenal. And GRG, but like, it's Halo. It's Halo. That's it. Like, it's the music, it's the gameplay, it's the graphics, it's the story, it's the multiplayer. It's everything great about a game in one package. And
plus our buddy's doing the soundtrack for it,
Yeah.
Gareth, yeah.
Yeah. Finally came out. It was nice to know, you know what I mean? It's crazy when you have like those secrets and shit, like, knew about it. And it's like finally came out. Like, yeah, all right, we can talk about it.
The last Halo that came out was Halo 5 Guardians 2015.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? I think it's a long time, but you know what? To make a game nowadays, this much production, I mean, as big as the studio is, Tim, you know the numbers better than I do, it's huge. And then everything that's happened like this year.
$100 million on these games now. It's crazy.
So you might as well just take the time to get movie. Yeah, I get what they wanted to do with the launch because we haven't did it since Xbox, the original OG Xbox. But this may be the new norm where it takes, instead of 2 to 3 years to make a game, you may just need this time to make a really good AAA, quadruple A game. Just
like I said, I'd rather them sit back, get it right, and let it out when it's ready. And not before. Don't step on your toes. Just do it.
Hey, and it's on Game Pass. So what's the cost and you really wait other than just you want it out then and there, but
Yeah, well, I think it was just that that Xbox didn't have that title to lean on, but we all got through launch. We have Cyberpunk coming in 2 days or 3 days. I know that they just hired a lighting artist that worked for Insomniac and I believe The Last of Us 2. Typically his work, if you look at his LinkedIn, is 6 months to 8 months he's hired. So he's gonna the way it's looking, I would think that they're on tap for a June release. But I just have a feeling it's going to be pushed back into the winter.
You think so? I would say around March. I would say March.
Well, yeah, I think that's what they're gunning for.
March is a good time.
Yeah, I
And,
think that
and you know,
they've
there's not
gone.
too many games that's going to be out, so it's going to be a huge
Yeah,
spotlight on just Halo.
I think that's the plan, to be honest, right now, or the way it's set. And you look at things and things I've heard. I just feel that they're going to push it back just because they have to get it right. And unless it's not right, and I don't know if they're gonna if they have enough time. I think a full year's time can really improve the
Yeah,
game
but the thing
to
is, like,
where
even
it's.
if you look at the God of War that came out a couple years ago, what's his name, Corey, the lead designer on it, he said they didn't get it, they didn't get it locked down until like literally 2 weeks before it came out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
mean, they work on these games to the very, very last minute, and so
They could
hey, just
they
take your
could
time, get
probably
it
be
right.
rolling out some kind of a multiplayer beta or something like that, probably in the second
Yeah.
quarter.
Mhm.
And like that would be enough to get the hype train going, throw some fuel on the fire for it.
A
Then
multiplayer
we'll
beta
have
on
some
I
what,
just
kind of
hope
though?
then
that
we'll
the
have
rumors
events.
about the
Hmm?
rumors about them having two parts to the game. I hope that's not true.
I don't know if that's
Well,
gonna
Yeah,
be
hold
I
on a
agree
second.
with you there. You cannot
Hold on
have
a
this
second.
too.
Wait. So the multi parts of the game, right? So what if it was the battle royale portion of the game? They made that, if it's true, the rumors are true. If they made that separate from everything else that is Halo, it is different and it is new. Would that be acceptable? You guys think that'd be cool enough? I mean,
I think they
if
can't go
it's
that
just like
route.
one gameplay, that yeah, I can see it.
multiplayer mode.
But yeah, I just what, I'd rather it be like a DLC where you don't have to like switch games or And I know that you got with the Series X, you got the the pretty fast house switch. I forget the name of it. But yeah, I don't know. The thought of it being two separate games or whatever, it kind of bothers me.
Me too.
Mhm.
I think they should just wait to make it one package, be a
Agreed.
traditional
It's
title,
wholehearted.
and
What they did with the what's it called dang it.
Master Chief Collection.
Crackdown.
No.
no, they didn't do a
Crackdown.
Crackdown. Well, Crackdown was
Yeah,
like two
Crackdown.
separate games, right?
Right.
That was such a disaster. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a disaster on that level. But yeah, I think that most people just want it done. They don't want to hear it doesn't have ray tracing.
Mhm.
They don't want to hear that it's missing this. Just get it done on whatever timeline. You can't screw it up. I just fear.
Right.
I just fear, and I said this last podcast, that most people aren't going to be blown away by the graphics, just because of the style that they took. But the gameplay and everything else about the game is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I feel. We'll see.
Tim, I still think that they can bring it home in terms of graphic fidelity and just. I think they could still do it. You look at a quality title like Halo Guardians, for example. That's still one of the great games in terms of graphics and what it's
most
capable
definitely.
of doing.
Even Halo 4 looked beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah, you're right.
I think that whole Craig meme thing had a huge impact, probably more than people.
Yeah, it did.
I think people think. I think for starters, whenever you have like a title like Halo, and the impact it's had on gaming culture, and the bar is set like super high, probably more than any other game in history. So for many, I think Craig represented a downgrade from like Halo 5, and I think that's definitely a problem. But it's never, it's never a good spot for a game to become a meme, for sure. I mean, you've seen it what they've
That was a
done
black guy.
with games
Domino's
like,
Pizza was making fun of him. I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
well, you've seen it what memes do. You've seen it with Mass Effect Andromeda. You've seen it with what was it, Assassin's Creed Unity. We all know how those games ended. I think, and so I think Q1 of
It's funny because
2022.
in the gaming industry,
Right.
how it's totally different because everywhere else, all press is good press, but not with the gaming. Bad press is, I mean, it'll tear the game down.
But
Literally.
I think maybe those games are a bad example because those games were after the fact, and it doesn't. 343 has a huge amount of resources spent on this game. The money spent, the people working on the project. People expect more out of 343. So when they seen that meme, of Craig, I think they're going back to the drawing board, and I do think it's going to be Q1 of 2022. I know it's kind of hard for people, but
Really? You think a whole
I
another
think
year?
so. But you can't blame COVID for it. You look at games
No,
like
no, because they can go
yeah,
home and they can do it at home. Work from home is the same shit. You got
It's
computers.
not the same. How are you? I'm sorry, I gotta disagree. It's not the same. I mean, they have these studios built for a reason, and
no,
I don't,
you can work from home. I mean, that's
Yeah, you can still work from home.
yeah, you can.
Most
I
Well,
mean,
people doing it,
you could get behind on certain stuff
yeah,
like
of course. But what I'm saying is Halo's been in development for so long that
right.
COVID. But at that point, when that trailer hit, COVID only happened for what 4 or 5 months. So I know 4 and 5 months in the gaming industry is a long time, but I look at games like on Sony's platform, games like God of War, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, which had probably some of the best lighting in a game ever that I've ever seen. And then when you look at Halo Infinite, I think it leaves something left to be desired at the end of the day. I think fans expected more. I think we expected more as fans. And as for the Halo spin-offs, I do think, that we're going to get some of these because the Halo franchise is just so massive and so much money will be left on the table if they don't. But I don't see them making a battle royale game. I just don't see it.
I'm in that camp too. I don't see that either.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole battle royale thing. I mean, the thing is, okay, we've seen these different rumors pop up, obviously recently about battle royale the past week. The thing is,
Yeah.
343, Frankie O'Connor over at 343 last year had already stated that, without a doubt, apparently, that the only BR that would be in Halo was the battle rifle. To quote him. And
Mhm.
I'm still to believe that. I mean, the mechanics are there for a battle royale game in Halo, but personally, I don't think they need it. I think that they could really expand if they want to do multiple player encounters like the numbers that battle royale does. Do like a big like invasion style kind of a
Yeah.
mode, but expand
I-
upon
Well,
it.
I think they learned their lesson when it came to Crackdown because Crackdown that was their intention, and they shit the bed. So I definitely think they had to rethink things because
and
like you said,
I
it's
do want to
Halo.
go.
When I,
How many grew up on Halo? Like literally, like that's one of the games that people would like. Oh, it brings me back to my teenage years, or or when I was even a younger kid. Like Halo is home basically.
Mhm.
It's your childhood. It's your it's your memories. So the
They
bar
could
is
definitely make this a like a mode. So I mean, cover their bases.
That's kind of
Get
what I
some of
was
that battle
thinking.
royale. You had the
It's
tag
just
team
it's just one
battle
of those
anyway.
things that
Like
people that
Warzone
people
was completely different. Could be another mode. So
there are people that are out there that like the battle royale mode, and it's a way for them to introduce Halo and put their spin on it, in that that particular mode, and you got people that are playing PUBG, you got people that are playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty's done it,
Right.
back in what was it? I think March or whatever,
yeah,
and
Well,
it's
Call
free.
of
I
Duty
mean, I feel
keeps
like
their regular
I'll put it this
multiplayer.
way. I'll put it
Like,
this
you
way.
keep it.
If it's an addition to like Arena and what they have now, it's not a problem. But if it's in substitution
no, yes,
of those things, then
that
it'll
was
be a horror show.
They know they would get destroyed if that was the case.
Exactly. And the
But
thing
that
is,
goes without saying. But again, look at the situation it is. I mean, if that happens, then I mean, just blow the studio up because
Yeah,
they
don't
have
dare,
absolutely, you can't replace certain stuff.
yeah,
I
don't
just think
dare
if they
replace
go
it with
with the
big team battle.
stand. I just think if they go the standalone route with the battle royale, it's going to end in disaster. It's people are going to look at it like Microsoft and Xbox are just cashing in on this whole saturated
It is
battle
standalone.
market.
It's free to play.
Right, but it's
I
just like
mean, it
there's too
can't be
many.
included with it then.
It's too many. I think if it was just added on, maybe, but I mean, to me, it just looks like um, they just need to go a different route because it's just so saturated. You see every company, whether it's Xbox now, Ubisoft is in, EA's in on it. It's just there's so many battle royale games. How many of you actually even play them?
I know there's. I mean, I know PUBG. I know there's Apex Legends.
Is the only one I really play.
Yeah, but it you know what?
And-
These games have been around for a few years now, and it's hard to jump in that arena to use that word.
I also feel Microsoft is too, like, forgive me for saying this, too innovative. Like, they like trying new things very quickly, and they don't like really duplicating or rehatching what other companies do. And that's where I don't. Huh?
I don't think so. They're a little late to the party when it comes to that, because you see them when it comes out, when the Smite craze took over and they tried to cash in on that, and then what is that, MOBA? The MOBA craze, they tried to cash in on that, and I just think
and they tried with
free to play
PUBG when
MOBA.
they decided that when they partnered with PUBG. We all forgot when they launched the Xbox One X, they had PUBG pretty much right there with it in the holiday.
Yeah, well, that was one of the reasons why they had at that point, they had 4 studios.
Yeah.
And they were in a dire straight situation.
But obviously we all see now kind of like how that panned out for both PUBG and Microsoft. So I don't see them trying to do the at least the battle royale thing.
Yeah. If they do that, and sorry to cut you guys out, if they do that too, you don't want to overshadow your own product that's been successful, like Sea of Thieves. I think if they introduce something else like that.
Wait, did you just say Sea of Thieves was successful?
South, some things have happened while you've been gone.
Jeremy's been going through change.
Did Jeremy turn? Did he turn a corner? Did he turn a page? What happened?
Yeah,
Jeremy's been going through changes.
Oh wow! So he's going through change his life, huh?
Yeah, he's not threatening Xbox anymore. He's not.
Oh wow!
He's actually a fan.
He's going through puberty, huh?
Yeah.
His voice changing, cracking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a real boy.
The Kraken.
His little levels are dropping. Oh, mijito.
Sea of Downer, definitely. Oh man, but guys, like, as much I love Halo, it's my favorite IP from Microsoft Xbox. I just want to see it come out as a full, complete package with obviously campaign, all the multiplayer modes that we're accustomed to, even Forge and Firefight. And that, I remember at Halo 5 Guardians launch, there were a few things lacking at launch as well. Forge came out a few months later. Firefight, maybe a year later.
The maps were terrible in Vader. I did not want to play on those maps. Sorry.
Yeah, in my opinion, too, the maps weren't that great either. And also that goes with the style, too, and what they were pushing. Again, like, to all those who like Halo 5 Guardians, like, it's, that's totally fine. But as far as Halo Infinite goes, like, from what I've seen so far, it's a welcome sight to see a lot of, like, familiar-looking armor, and just the style of it is very welcome to me, even the color palette. I was one of the only people that day when Halo Infinite got the gameplay reveal. I was so excited to see it, despite some of the stuff going on with the graphics, the pop-in and whatnot. I'm still really excited for this game. I'm looking forward to it. I think personally that, I don't know, despite the spring tease, I do think that we will see it come like winter, like November of 2021, just because it falls in line with the like a anniversary of what is it, Combat Evolved, if I'm not mistaken. But like, so that would make a lot of sense if they wanted to push it back. They can do some special stuff there, and it gives the team a lot of time to work with. I mean, Joe Staten had only taken over a few months ago from Chris Lee.
Yeah, but he was there a while before they announced it, so he actually had his hands involved already. I just don't think they're gonna wait that long, because there's other games that's supposed to come out next winter.
No, that's true.
I mean, they just got to be bigger than Halo. I mean, who's Halo going to be? I mean, who's going to compete with Halo? For me, in my book, Halo.
Yeah, but the thing is, I want Halo to be the only thing on the map. You know what I mean? I don't want oh well, Call of Duty's coming out, and so is the next God of War. You know what I mean? I want Halo to have its own stage and
Well,
spotlight.
it used to be that way. Everybody used to get out of the way of Halo. I don't think anybody really
Not anymore.
fears
No,
it anymore.
nobody's scared of
Right.
Halo. No.
Right.
And that's why I said I want Halo to shine.
And it's because of 343 they haven't developed that reputation yet.
I mean,
right. Well, they're still
last
in
time
the
Halo came
shadow
out,
of
though.
Bungie.
Last time Halo came out, who tried to go up against Halo 5, even as as bad as it was received. I think pretty much
Call
people
of
got out
Duty
of the
was
way.
out. No, there was all the games came out.
Well, Halo came out.
That's usually Battlefield.
It's Call of Duty now. Call of Duty's like it's
Well,
very casual.
It's every 2 years
People
now.
don't like
They started doing it
that
every 2 years.
original.
Well, Call
Yeah.
of Duty is still huge. Call of Duty still sells 15 million copies every freaking year it comes out, just about.
That's more
Well,
so
they
because
said-
Call of Duty every year. So it's good
Yeah,
for
and
casuals.
obviously-
Halo
I
doesn't do
read
that
in
every
the
year.
last year, Call of Duty made what's it called? What's their damn?
Warzone.
What's the company? No, what's the company?
Activision.
Activision.
Yeah, it made Activision $800 million in the last year. $800 million, bro. That's almost $1 billion in 1 year. You know what I mean? So yeah, they probably cost $100 million to make. And look at the turnover. That's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say about COD, though, is that it's definitely, I've seen a lot of the reactions to, Black Ops Cold War, and there seems to be a lot lacking there.
Negative. Yeah, I heard some negative press.
And watch those damn numbers be big as hell. So,
right.
we've seen it before with other games.
Yeah.
It was the
People dogging
Battlefield, the Star Wars games. It was the Battlefront 2. Oh my God, it was trash. It's trash. No one wants it. And what were those numbers? I mean,
there's only certain outlets now.
Battlefront 2 is awesome. People out of their minds.
Yeah.
What about
and there was no loot boxes. There was none. They took them out before a game even came out. They weren't there.
Well, let's be honest.
Squad
Let's be honest, though. The game press they're done. They're to me they're irrelevant at this point because
they're antiquated. Yeah.
Yeah, they have no credibility whatsoever. They bash on and you're going to see it with Cyberpunk when this game comes out.
They're already
doing it.
Yeah,
and I like I like the new coin phrase that they're starting to give some of these sites. It's called rage baiting. Basically, you just create the most controversial freaking article you can think of just to give your site clout and relevance.
Right. Wow. And everybody wants to be first to the table on the Cyberpunk deal because it's what's going to happen. It's just going to give them clicks. So everybody's making videos on Cyberpunk. Everybody wants in. Everybody wants in. But I promise you, cut out the banter. Cyberpunk's going to be absolutely amazing.
It's going to be huge.
I hope so, man. From what I saw, firsthand impressions and everything, everyone saw it later. I was blown away with the gameplay, the story.
Everybody that's had their hands on it already are in love.
Mm-hmm.
I know a few people that got it already and all that, and they are in love. There's people are always gonna hate no matter what, but dude, this game is gonna be huge. Just like Danner says, probably the game of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, no, it's going to for sure be game of the year. It's going to be a game, one of these games, a game of a generation, just like The Witcher 3 was, even more so.
Well, and the beautiful thing about it is that it's a new IP. It's not they're not retrading something. You know what I mean? Like it's fresh. That's the beautiful thing about it. That's what I love.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, like you said, just to expand upon what you're saying, Southbound, it's something fresh. It's something that a lot of people. It's been in the works for 7-8 years, and then
7 or 8 years. Yeah.
And I'd be, Invader. I'd be curious to see also the pre-orders on this particular. I think it's probably the most pre-ordered game on the face of planet Earth. I mean, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody getting the collector's edition? By the way, am I the only one?
Yeah, I tried ordering it.
Downer, didn't you? Because
I tried ordering it and I couldn't get one. I'm gonna have to get one. Pay a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, you have to double up. Yeah.
Yeah, get some of that Scalper limited edition.
Yeah, the scalpers, man, the scalpers, boy, they got a bad name right now with all with all the limited supplies with the PS5 and Xbox. It's just sick, man. These people are charging like 1,000 to 2,000. It's like wow, these dickheads.
Yeah, talk about douchebags. But
Hey, anybody that wants mine, man, I'll grab mine and I'll gladly sell it to you for about 1,500. At a cheap, low price. Of so,
Hey, and think about it, like, hey, yeah, I'll slang mine for two, But no, really, I just think that's, I get capitalism, but charging people, 3-4 times what you paid. Come on, man, that's bullshit.
yeah, well, people were doing that with toilet paper too, right? So.
Well, yeah, and hand sanitizer, you know what I mean? But you know what? They got in trouble in the end, so.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I won't wipe my ass with that Cyberpunk Collector's Edition, though.
Oh, you are in the bathroom, so I don't know.
I don't know. I can see Jeremy lighting up a huge cigar and about to do that. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
And piss everybody off on Twitter.
That's
the troll move, guys. Tell you what, we'll move on from the Halo news and rumors, and we'll go on to some other news. And, we could be seeing a new Forza Horizon game right around the corner. And, of course, this past July, we had the latest Forza Motorsport game announced. But it looks like it's going to be a while before we see it. However, there have been some hints dropped that we could see Forza Horizon 5 quite possibly very soon. Now, speaking with the Xbox Empire podcast, VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb spoke. He suggested that this could be the case, and I quote, "The new Forza Motorsport was announced a few months ago, but I think we might have the next Forza Horizon game first, and it might be coming the next year." So, I mean, that has me very curious, guys, but...
well, yeah, but Playground, they're working on something else. They're working on, what's it called? Fable.
Well, yeah, but they have two studios. One's dedicated to Fable, and then the other's dedicated to Forza Horizon, so they could pull it off.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, what about the OG Forza? They're due.
They are due.
Yeah, I think they need
also
to just
Turn 10
grab both of them.
co-develops the Horizon
No,
series.
I don't think they.
No,
they-
Turn 10. No, they don't have. They just made the what's it called? They just made the game. The game. What's it called?
well, just grab both of them.
I was thinking about this. I just don't want the great series it is, to become like another Madden or EA game.
Right.
Right. That's what I don't need for
Yeah.
need for speed. And you look at Assassin's Creed, where they had to go back and just to the drawing board.
Well, they had to wait a couple years on.
And that's what I don't want. And I think if they introduce it with like maybe call it something world, Forza Horizon World or something like that. And what they could do is, you've seen the success of games like what Rainbow Six Siege has done, where they just added on every year $40, $30, and they do something like that, and they just call it Forza Horizon World, and it's something that's just continuing for a long time. I think that route might be, and it probably bring in more revenue in terms of microtransactions and different things that they can do.
It's funny you mentioned.
What do you guys think?
Go ahead. No, I thought they were going to do that with the Motorsport series, because when they did the trailer for it,
yeah, I think so.
It didn't even say 8. I don't even remember it saying 8. It was
I think they're done with the numbers. They're just
So what's going on? This is what I think is going on. I think I would say it's likely. Forza Horizon 5 is going to be a cross-gen title that comes out next year. It's probably going to be taken in a different setting. It'll probably be a different type of game. The next iteration of Forza Tech, next generation, will most likely be Forza Motorsport, a completely new, built from the ground up for next generation only console. Forza Motorsport, the one that we saw at the July or whatever the game show that Xbox had. So that's going to be that's going to be the most impressive Forza. I think you're going to get a nice Forza Horizon, a fun Forza Horizon, and possibly a really exotic location, maybe a bunch of locations, maybe Japan. I think it's going to be cross-title, and I do think Jeffrey Grubb is correct that it's going to come out this year. Makes sense. They're on a 3-year. They're usually on a 2-year cycle. This will give them a 3rd-year cycle. And you know that Forza Tech engine shares between Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport. Turn 10
Well,
and
we know that Horizon is more popular than Motorsport.
Right.
Most people don't just like tracks. Like me personally, I prefer Horizon over Motorsport. So I'm thinking, do you guys think that maybe Turn 10 is actually working on Horizon?
No, I know.
No.
So no, it's gonna be Playground. It's gonna be Playground. They have their same people, but it's gonna be, like I said, it's the next iteration of Forza Tech. Next generation is gonna be with the Motorsport series.
So okay,
And
so
then-
you think that Motorsport would be for next generation, or the Series X, PS5, era.
Only, yeah.
Right. Okay. And then
Yes, and then the Forza Horizon is gonna be like a cross-gen.
Okay.
Right. Right, and it'll be more of something like we have now, probably a little bit better. But like I said, they share the engine, so the next generation of Forza Horizon 6 or Forza Horizon Worlds will also be that much better after that. But they're in 3 years development. They haven't had a game out, and obviously Forza just started working, and like they said, they were pre-development. So a 2022 is likely for Forza Motorsport.
And with the acquisition, and maybe that's one of our topics, who did they purchase with the esports?
Smash GG.
Yeah, so Smash GG, I could see them doing something with the Forza series, not the Horizons, but I mean, I think Forza could be huge internationally and just on a global scale if they do something. They partner with the esports deal, and I think it could just blow the series up. If not, I mean, it's blown up already, but
Absolutely.
Well, it's like South does say that what South said is true. That Forza Horizon right now is the more popular series.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Which is why I think that they'll, I think
because Motorsport is more technical, but Horizon is more fun.
Fun, yeah, it's arcade.
Right, exactly, and that's what some I prefer. I like going off road, and, chasing planes and crazy shit like that. That's
I like Motorsport though.
Is it really more popular though? Maybe not worldwide.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's sold. The last
Really?
iteration of Forza 4 and Forza 3 both outsold Forza 6 and Forza 7. So,
by a lot.
Yeah. Forza Horizon has been huge.
Because, just look at the DLCs, that's where, because it's on Game Pass, but the DLC is where Microsoft's making their money, because those games are really, really popular.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, personally, guys, I would like to see, just because, now they seem to be going into 3-year intervals from the looks of it for the cycling, but I would like to see some kind of a third racing franchise kind of in there, just to kind of mix things up a bit, because...
Well, do you think they should bring bikes in?
Bring back PGR?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Wow, PGR, that's old school.
I would like to see them bring back a PGR in some form.
Enough. It's like
Project
street
Gotham.
racing.
I don't know, but you know what? But it's too much like Motorsport, though. That's the thing.
Well, not necessarily. It focuses on city racing, right? Like street racing, so they could possibly do something with that. My only curiosity would be if they would like rebrand as like Forza City Racing or something like that. Stick with that Forza name because that's what sells, right? But I don't know. Or hey, believe it or not, maybe even a kart racing game of some sort. I know people always joke about that Forza Kart, but I don't know. I would like to see.
But
something.
That'd be fun, especially for xCloud. To play on your phone, and that's definitely something to try.
Yeah, or
I wouldn't mind those Japanese rumors to be true, to have the setting there for Forza Horizon 5 to be somewhere in Japan. I remember 4 was a thing.
They rumored Japan for a few years now.
So maybe this turnaround, maybe we'll get Japan. But then again, hey, those are rumors.
I think Japan
So-
would make a lot of sense, Megatron. I mean, if you look at, for example, I actually just started playing Forza Horizon 4, and if you take the tech that they're using there, I'm pretty sure that they'll carry it forward with the seasons. I think you could see something along the lines of Japan. You could see them coming back to the Americas. Heck, maybe even Canada at some point, right? With the seasonal work going on there. There's enough variety in the terrain to do something there. Or, even South America. There's still, there's all kinds of places to visit. And they could definitely expand even more so. And, it's a very popular series, like everybody's saying. Japan, there's definitely a lot of culture there. There's racing culture there in particular. And with where they're going now, they're really trying to expand their presence in Japan at the moment. Obviously, they're looking at a few studios. I think it makes a lot of sense to go with Japan for the next iteration of Forza Horizon. And it could be really, they could do some really cool stuff, with different winding turns around mountains. The different showcase events too. Forza Horizon, as much as I think it could use a little bit of a break at the same time, it's a very exciting series, and I just keep coming back to it. Absolutely. It's such a fun
I'm kind of
racing
shocked by
franchise.
those numbers, though. I always thought that the Horizon series is more popular in the States. And Motorsport, I think that's what kind of Jeremy was alluding to, was more popular, over in Europe. I don't know. I thought I read something.
But I think there's just probably just more casuals able to get into Horizon than Motorsport.
True. Very true. Very true. Very fun. I've had a plenty of fun times, I have to say, with one of the last few times I played Horizon, I was with Tim and a few other folks, and watching Tim go over and over again trying to get one of those signs, those bonus signs on top of one of these houses. If Tim remembers that, it was a hell of a laugh that night, man.
I'm excited to see what Turn 10 can do with if they're giving this much time with development. Because if you think about it, they're
so technical.
They pop out a Forza game every 2 years while co-developing Horizon in between that, and still to date there are the higher rated series between them and Gran Turismo. So I don't know what Polyphony Digital does over there that takes them almost a decade to produce a game that's less in quality. But so if you give Turn 10 the time that Polyphony Digital gets for Gran Turismo, I think you're definitely going to see it be on top again of the new Gran Turismo again. So I don't know. I think they're definitely going to have some high
expectations.
Yeah, from Gran Turismo 7, it was kind of a misstep. Still, great game, but now they can definitely take some of the Gran Turismo multiplayer aspects. That's what I'd like to see in this one, where it was a lot of qualifiers that basically kept it more competitive. So you weren't just playing against people that didn't know how to drive or race, and then they clip you, and that doesn't get to be fun. I used to do that in PGR all the time, where you drive a little bit, because if you stopped, your car would make you invisible, and you weren't there, so you wouldn't screw with other people. But then right on the straightaway, I would move my car a little bit, and then there's this car in front of this straightaway, and then everybody crashes into you, and people got really pissed. But it's stuff like that you want to avoid in these multiplayer racers. And Gran Turismo did a really good job of that on Gran Turismo Sport. So hopefully hopefully all multiplayer racers going forward implement that program or that system they had built in.
Right. Well, again, guys, Forza Horizon, very successful racing series. Forza 4, I'm just playing through it right now, and very impressive visually. And it's typical Horizon. There's all kinds of crazy stuff to do.
I'm sorry, but that fucking Tim. That video traumatized me, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro, that was wrong. That was wrong.
I don't know what was chopping over there.
Low hanging fruit.
I see the chat going back and forth, and I'm
Timmy
like
just looking at it
distracted.
like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, a little bit of backstage stuff, guys, going on. That's what we're reacting to, and let's just say I was kind of shuddering from watching what I was seeing.
Oh yeah, they shrunk up to my chest.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've had a vasectomy and that hurts me.
Ooh.
It's a
I'm
fruit.
glad you got it. I'm glad. Shit. No
Yeah.
more little Jeremy running around.
Exactly. No more kids for me.
Yeah, let's just say my
Guys,
hazelnuts
have-
shrunk to the size of pistachios there. Oh man, but okay, guys, we'll move on from the Forza Horizon talk and move on to something that's a little more contentious that kind of popped up the last day, and a very intriguing rumor has been making the rounds. And according to a recent leak by a Spanish magazine, Microsoft has supposedly, and again, massive grain of salt here, acquired Kojima Productions, and that things will be made official during the Game Awards next week. Again, take this with a massive grain of salt, but hey, stranger things have happened, right? I mean, Microsoft did spend $7.5 billion on ZeniMax and
Wait,
Bethesda.
that's what that article was saying? That they bought Kojima?
Well, basically, like
And they're gonna announce it at the Game Awards.
Yeah, and
Oh shit!
yeah. Why this?
Twitter is gonna be on fire if that happens. Holy
TV might shut the mic off on that announcement. I'd be like, no. This is...
Well, I think Jeff Keighley would have a
Yeah.
heart attack personally, but
Right?
if that happens,
Yeah, him and his PlayStation will just shit their pants.
Oh man, well that's the thing, guys, because again, Kojima.
Hey, but then Jeff Keighley has been, doing stuff with Xbox the last few months. So I don't know.
Like Kojima did, a year or two ago, released Death Stranding, which of course is a PlayStation exclusive, though it did come to PC, obviously. But I'm curious what all you guys think here. I'll start with Centurion Bud because. Like, are we dealing with a legit possible leak here? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Could Kojima Productions possibly be coming over to Microsoft?
Wow.
I don't see it. I don't see it,
see it
honestly.
either.
He don't have the relationship with the Xbox that he does with PlayStation, and that, I know they could have probably smoothed things over or whatever, but I don't see it. But then hey, you know what? But hey, money is root of all of everything, so you never know. But I just don't think that he has the connections and the relationships with Xbox that he does with PlayStation.
Does he have that relationship still with PlayStation? Because Death Stranding didn't do that well.
They weren't happy
Sony.
with that.
They
weren't.
Yeah.
Okay, well I
No.
thought they were because
No.
well, you know what? It really didn't. It didn't have the lasting impression that normally Kojima has. So
Yeah,
Jeremy loved it.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it, but it did, like you said, it didn't have that lasting impression that mega hit. It was kind of a niche title.
It was like hot for like maybe 2 months, and then everybody just
Yeah.
stopped. You didn't hear nothing about it anymore.
I'll give this rumor a little bit of validity. I don't know
Big word.
if it is this exactly, but I do know that I have heard or I know of things that maybe something could happen with Kojima. So I'll keep it at that. It's something that
I don't see them buying him out. If anything,
I'll be like
exclusivity,
or even getting their game multi-plat. Let's say their next game is Silent Hills, or
you see that the maker of Silent Hill just down from what's it called, Konami.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, whatever it is, I don't think you're gonna go on Jeff's show and announce their studio. First of all, I don't think Jeff would allow that, to be honest. But
they announced the next Xbox there, so
yeah, and I don't know. I just don't know. I all I'll say is this: I had heard something about Kojima a while back, and it was from a very good source. It was not where it would say like confirmation of a studio buy, but I could say that there was talks, there was actual talking, and what that talking was about, we don't know about. I don't know about, but I could tell you that there is that when I saw that story on Twitter, my eyebrow raised because I remember being told that and being like, nah, like you guys, like, nah, it's,
Well,
you know.
you know what? Hey,
So-
like I said, I just don't see him. Like I said, the relationship that he don't have with Xbox. But like I said, it comes down to money, and that could be, that could make
exactly.
relationship real easy.
See, that's the thing. Go on.
You've seen Kojima. He made his little world tour. Right before Death Stranding came out. And he was going on. Remember, he was going to like every studio around the world, damn near. And so you never know. And like you, Tim, I have heard a few things about another studio, acquisition. Now I don't know particularly what studio or where it is or what it is, but I did hear, some chatter about another, acquisition.
Well, all I'll say is this: being with Satya's latest comments, how they're very, very interested in gaming right now and focused on gaming. I wouldn't put anything past Microsoft at this point. I would never in a million years tell you that they bought Bethesda. Like that's how crazy they've gotten. So,
well, remember before Fallout 4 came out, and that was kind of like the rumor that Microsoft was going to buy, or it was going to be exclusive. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
And I remember at the time I was talking to some people, and they're like, "Oh hell no! You know how much money that would cost? There's no way."
Yeah.
So like you said, from what 5 years to actually owning the whole shebang,
the whole entire studio, the whole entire publication.
So, yeah. So you know what? You never know.
My take on it is, I know it's Centurion's topic, but I do think it's.
What about Centurion?
It was your topic, but I'm sorry, but I do think it was interesting that the Spanish outlet released this information. Why? Because we all know that Kojima does have a relationship with Guillermo del Toro. Maybe they got wind of this. Who knows? I'm just guessing at this point. Look, if Phil can get somebody like Kojima, it would shake the industry again. If he's really making Silent Hills with Guillermo del Toro, because Guillermo was supposed to work on this project with Kojima, and he was in Death Stranding. I'm gonna play it because I know it's gonna be a great game, but say what you want about Death Stranding. It's a fantastic game, a lot like the Metal Gear franchise in many ways, but nobody creates games like Kojima. Nobody. So in my opinion, he's one of the greats. And if Xbox really did pick him up, which I doubt it, he would automatically be their best developer. Just in terms of what he's capable of doing as far as storytelling, a character-driven perspective, and what the ways that they can use them in different ways, whether it's film, because he's always wanted to create a film. I don't know. It's just there's different ways that he can. I think it'd be a huge pickup.
And the only reason I would think, I was saying the only reason why I would give this, the only reason I would think that this could be possible is, well, if you think about it, when he was with Konami, like, they had to foot a pretty big bill for him, like with his imagination, how long it would take to develop.
But the thing is, they had their foot on his neck, on his throat, so he felt locked down. That's why I don't think that he would get bought out by Xbox, because he wanted his freedom.
Konami's not like Microsoft in the sense like they have that, like they have a lot of money from their pachinko machines, but so I think Microsoft would see this as, especially, and I think Kojima himself being with like Game Pass, then so many more people have access to his art and his content. So I think that's where, if he were to make the deal, that's what he would probably be looking at. Plus, hey, they're gonna foot my imagination, my taste that Sony did, which maybe they felt, that's
also
where that
the funny thing is like before you would say, oh, well, Phil or whoever is out in Japan, what could be going on? Now everybody's at home. So, deals could be, done over Zoom now. You know what I mean? So we don't really know what's going on. So
And
it's
if
kind of
Sony
crazy.
wasn't happy with the sales of his last game, we'll see. That's where Jim Ryan's might be incorrect with the whole, we can't put our games in a Game Pass service like that. We have to sell them and make all of our money back. Well, guess what? When one doesn't hit versus like if it was in Game Pass, how many people would have checked out? Even if, they were making fun of it, they would have checked out that game just because it looked like some weird. Even the people that are bad mouthing it, they weren't going to shell out $60.
I've talked to a few people with their games in Game Pass, and you know what? At first, everybody was skeptical, but I've heard some pretty good, behind the scenes like chatter that they're happy with having their game in Game Pass.
Well, there's almost no risk.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everyone's saying, well, we're not getting paid for this now. Well, we don't know the splits. You know what I mean? So like, the companies, the publishers that are putting their games in Game Pass are actually really, really happy with it. And now you're seeing, EA got their own little stuff and they're in Game Pass. It's just crazy because they're jumping on the train. You know what I mean? It's the kind of like the Netflix versus Disney Plus, HBO Max. It's Xbox Game Pass is leading the pack, and everybody else is going to have to follow their mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now you're hearing whispers about Sony doing their own Game Pass type deal. So think about it.
Phil said, he came out and said with, some of the deals that they do, they're kind of individually tailored to the developer's needs. So I thought that was kind of neat to get a little insight on that because I was always curious.
Well, yeah, because it's not just one size fits all type deal. You know what I mean? Because some publishers are bigger than others. Like for instance, Control just came out. Well, we know damn well that had to cost some money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have cost some dollars. And that's the thing too.
So and that's a lot different than some of these indie games that are on Game Pass. So like you said, you got to tailor it to each individual publisher or game maker.
How long did Control come out? I don't think it's as much as everybody thinks. After a game, like they say, you have a window.
Well,
when the game comes out, where it's a few weeks, and then it's hot, and then it's not anymore. People, a lot of these gamers got short attention spans.
Like
Depends on where. So I think at that end, once it starts to die off, is when they kind of. That's when it is. That's when it's the best.
Well, that's when the games are like $20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think for Kojima, in a way, being a part of Xbox Game Series would make sense because they would take a lot of the risk from like the financial risk because there's only so many companies that could really back a project for Kojima's needs, let's say, and give him the time and resources to make them. Again, as somebody has stated earlier, Sony didn't exactly recoup what they had put into Death Stranding, even though it was, I guess it was a bit of a hit in the review scores. At the same time, it didn't get back the revenue that they thought that they could earn from it. So I mean, it's possible that the Kojima could be attracted to just Microsoft's model with Game Pass, and that they wouldn't have to rush out his title. So
yeah, I don't think that was it. I think Sony knew what they were getting themselves into when they seen the gameplay of Death Stranding. A lot of these companies, they realize, okay, it's a walking simulator, it's a delivery service simulator. They knew that going in. So I think just because it was Kojima and his storytelling pedigree and his character building pedigree,
well, they were betting on his name, bro.
Right.
That's all it was.
Well, I heard when they had their updates, they were like, "What the hell is this?" Like I heard they weren't that happy when they saw finally what he was doing, and they had certain types of issues. And again, yeah, like you said, they're betting on his name. And from what I heard is that it didn't go well. They weren't happy with the sales. They weren't happy with the way he kind of kept them in the dark. And he kind of
like a mad scientist.
Well, yeah, exactly. He didn't from what I heard, he didn't really.
Did they not play Metal
Gear? He didn't tell. He basically said he told them one thing, and then when they saw the game, it was like another thing. So they were pretty upset. So
Listen,
maybe
everyone's
there's something here. Who knows?
People are forgetting their interviews. I mean, he didn't even know what the game was when he was making it. Like, as he was making the game, people kept asking him, well, what is it? And he didn't even know till it was done.
He couldn't describe it. Yeah, he couldn't.
Yeah, Kojima's like that though. He doesn't give too much
No,
information.
but you can't be like that when you're investing in something.
Not when you're
Stop. I
selling
don't
the
care
new
what your
IP.
name is. Dude, that's too much. I mean, hold on. Like, shout out to King David. He was like, Kojima was going off like grandma without his meds. He was just going nuts. And then you see the baby, and we want to know what the baby is in this little bag. It was going on and
Just
on.
look at some of the
it was
enemies
definitely
in Metal
weird.
Gear Solid 3. Like yeah, he's.
Now, I'm not-
This is exactly.
I'm not
This
passing
is
the
like
game
no
real quick.
surprise.
You knew Kojima was a weirdo when that little Silent Hill demo came out. You're like, oh, this more got problems.
I don't want to listen. The game to me looks phenomenal. We talked about this on the show, I don't know, 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Looks great. I'm intrigued by it, but at the same time, it's not in a traditional sense to me of making a game. But that's the beauty of game development, to be able to create. But how much is this going to cost? People have to. If you want people to back you, you gotta sell us something that we know people is going to appeal. You want to make numbers. You want to appeal to the masses, to someone, get your money back. And it looks, from the looks of things, that didn't happen, unfortunately. And like I said,
Okay, all right. Now let me ask you guys, what do you think a price tag will be on a Kojima name?
I mean, you're only good as your last work. I mean, you have a pedigree, but
Well, yeah, you're only good as your last game. And,
I mean,
and if it didn't sell like it was projected to, and it was a letdown critically or whatever, that tarnishes your image and your name. So
For his
my
particular
question is,
studio,
what do you think? What do you think his pedigree, his name is worth now?
I think for his
right now
particular
is like a
studio-
car with a dent in the hood. So I'm at the used car a lot, and I'm like, I see the potential this car has, but fix it up. But what's it worth? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right. Definitely
Well, it goes.
No,
It goes
because-
I go
No.
500 million because
Yeah,
I go like
so-
around there.
Well, I was gonna say
around that
close
point.
to a bill, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, I would say anywhere between 700 to $1 billion, just because. I'd say it again. If they pick him up, he's instantly going to be their best developer, just in terms of a storytelling perspective. So
And
he
Microsoft
Chapter
already
how many
has
Sony guys would
130 liquid.
shoot themselves.
700.
I mean,
to $1 billion.
Microsoft has 130 billion liquid cash. So anything they spend on them, they'll already make it back just from their company alone in like half a year.
Oh no,
I just don't
they
see
got
them wanting to
free-floating
pick up
cash
Kojima
like
just
this.
because of how
Nothing.
controversial he could be.
What are you
we all
getting? If you
We all
buy
remembered when his game came out, Death Stranding, how he reacted and basically said that Western culture could not understand the game he created.
Again, let's not forget. He's saying
You'll
stuff
get
like
a lot of more people talking about Game Pass, I think, just from his name. Even if people didn't like the last game, they'll be like, "Oh, wow, he's going to be making all of his games are going to Game Pass now, day one." That'd be a huge talking piece, and now people are talking about more people
Yeah,
are
but
talking about
his
Game
games,
Pass.
I mean, they take 5 years, to come out. So I mean,
That's fine
that's
because
kind of
now they have a whole giant publisher in Bethesda, so they'll have
God,
games turning out.
But what do you get when you get Bethesda? I mean, you're not getting if he purchases Kojima Productions, right? Not Kojima itself, but Kojima Productions, right? So let's get that straight. What are you getting with them? You're not getting Death Stranding, you're not getting any other IPs, right? Konami owns all of them.
no,
That's a
you're
big risk.
You're getting
You're
his
getting Death
brain.
Stranding.
You're getting his
Yeah.
mind.
That's what you're getting.
Basically, you're getting something new.
Just like
You're
when you're talking about Bethesda, you're getting Todd Howard. You're getting because they're not buying Bethesda without Todd Howard.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
Kojima has made one of the great. Still, it's not even arguably. He's made one of the greatest games ever made in Metal Gear Solid. That's one of the greatest games ever made.
That could be debatable, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's debatable.
You know what? I never got into Metal Gear, so I just it's hard for me to like agree to stuff like that. But you know what? Hey, my taste is different than most people, so it is what it is.
Maybe he teams up with Shinji Mikami and they make a horror game together. Now they got Tango Gameworks.
Well, like
Same.
what's his name?
Version of Silent Hills that he wanted to
made
make.
Silent Hills. Yeah, so you know
He
what?
could make Silent Hills, whatever his idea was, because even in that demo, nothing about that told you like, oh, this is a Silent Hill game. Like
Right,
it was
Well,
completely
you know
different.
what? And they can make a game that doesn't necessarily have Silent Hill as a title. It could be, you know, just a regular horror game, but it could be inspired. You know, it could be like a what they call that, the successor. What is it? The honorary successor or whatever hell.
Yeah,
You know,
spiritual successor, yeah.
exact spiritual. Yeah, there you go. And you know, it could be something like that where, hey, you know what? Yeah, you see the footprints and the ideas of Silent Hill. So that right there is a selling point. You know, and like Downer said, you know, you're buying Kojima's brain. You know, and but like I said, how much is that worth these days? Because it was quite
No,
of
man.
a
Can
hit
you?
because Death
Well, you
Stranding.
could say it's a liability. You know, it's. Listen, I honestly could
You don't
just
want
be
to have a scale
something.
down situation.
Yeah, it also could be something just like maybe Metal Gear Solid coming to Xbox Game Pass. You know, I mean, but like I said, I do think that there might be something there or some type of deal. As far as how big and acquisitions, I wouldn't put money on that or even consider that yet. But I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to pull another rabbit out of the hat and shock us all again because you know I thought for a time they'd slow down after Bethesda, but
No, like I said,
they
I
get
heard there's still chatter, you know, after Bethesda. Bethesda, you know, for what I heard, it came together pretty quickly, you know, and obviously
Yeah,
it's going to take a while for the acquisition to actually take place, but you know, the idea and the deal came out pretty fast.
and you know, if they're going to use the Game Awards platform, it is going to be game related. It's not going to be acquisition related because it's not the time or place for it. You know, so
Why not? They could say,
it's
"Hey,
no
Kojima,
because
next
it's
game exclusively Xbox." Boom, and here's a demo.
well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be game related only. It's not going to be purchase related, meaning they're not going to announce an acquisition on Game Award. It's not professional, in my opinion. It's just, I don't know.
Well, yeah, but your opinion is dog shit sometimes too. So you know.
Well, again, we also didn't expect to see the Xbox Series X unveiled at the Game
Exactly.
Awards last year, and Hellblade 2 for that matter. So,
You know that shook the world when you know they announced the Xbox at the Game Awards. So you know, like I just
And they had these meetings, right? It was one of his you know, his people on his staff, his team that you know came up with the idea, and they went with it, right? You know, according to Phil. So yeah, it was.
it was what's his name? Timmy made the post
Can't
about
remember
it.
her name.
He tweeted, and he goes, "Well, whoever you know," because Timmy got it wrong that it was somebody else, and she was like, "No, it was my idea." I can't remember her name, but yeah, she she was the one that said, "You know what? Let's do the Game Awards," and Phil was like, "Well, can we do that? Then hell, let's do it." You know, and that was cool. You know, you need some fresh and innovative like that. You know, to get people. You know, right now with the new Series X, you need people keep to talking about Xbox. You know, I know that they're, you know, like Phil, he's like, whatever, you know, because like when I pre-ordered my Xbox and I was having trouble finding one, you guys remember, I was freaking out because like it was sold out within minutes everywhere. And I hit up Phil like, hey, you know, is there anything you can like? Is there, you know, like, like reserves? Like, what's going on? And he was like, well, you know, you can get a Series S. And I'm like, hell no. He goes, no, is that? Yeah, no, he was like trying to sell me on a Series S. And I'm like, nah, bro. You're like, you tripping? He goes, no. He's like, honestly, I play it a lot. It's a really good system. And I'm like, you know, I love you, man, but no, that's a negative. And then Microsoft Store went through and I got mine. So, you know what? I was like, whoo. But it was crazy. I was sweating. I was really scared that I wasn't gonna be able to get one because, I mean, look at like I said, all these scalpers and shit, you know. But bottom line, what I'm saying is, you know, the ZeniMax thing, people are like stopping to talking about it now, starting to quiet down again. So you need something more to get Xbox in people's minds and their mouths.
Right. And the thing is, too, again, like they're trying to identify different developers from like that focus on a variety of genres, and Kojima's been doing things that I don't know, like as somebody had mentioned in the chat, you know, he's trying to even make in a lot of ways his own genres with what he's trying to do. So they could really, you take that Kojima name and put that on Game Pass, and he brings just something genuinely new.
You know what I'd like to see him do if it were the case? I would like to see him do a Gears of War story. That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Going back to what Sal said earlier, we'll go with that quote about the dog shit. How?
Gears of Solid.
Yeah, I don't see it. Hey, creativity, I don't see it. It's sticking out of the box with that. Maybe a little bit too much. I don't see it.
Yeah, and I just don't see.
You should make a
Perfect Dark game. A brand that's already been out there. Maybe
Something
yeah,
new.
like a Perfect Dark that hasn't been out for a while. But I think that he don't want to be. I don't think he wants to be tied down to a series anymore. He wants to create new.
Bring his espionage action to Joanna Dark.
Yeah, but I don't know. From what hearing about the
That'd
initiative,
be a warped out story.
Wouldn't you love to hear Kojima making a Splinter Cell?
Ooh, wouldn't that be something?
Too far out the realm of
Well, because you know how Splinter Cell and Metal Gear has always been, compared to each other, neck and neck.
South.
20 years.
Splinter Cell set in the real world. What Kojima makes is fucking fantasy land.
it's got this
Oh yeah, I know, but
They're
That's
hiding
why I
a
thought
box.
Joanna Dark must be a better one. Like
But
you
you're talking
literally
about,
have aliens and
like,
shit.
yeah, I don't know. I just people still, compared them, because of the stealth aspect and all that. So, it is what it is. But it would be crazy to see, Kojima's ideas on a Splinter Cell. That would be cool.
Absolutely. And again, guys, like, this is just kind of speculation here because of, like, again, certain articles making the rounds the past day or so. Who knows? Take it with a massive, massive pile of salt, because who knows if this is true. I mean, it's highly unlikely, but again, as we've been saying, there's been a lot of highly unlikely things that have happened over the past couple of months. So anything can happen. Anything. We'll move on from the Kojima rumors to probably our last topic of the evening. And there's been a bit of news about Microsoft having their hands in something, and a few days ago it was announced that they acquired esports company Smash GG, and we had touched on this a few minutes ago, earlier in the show, and it's a company that allows users to set up their own esports tournaments and events. Now, details are a bit scarce about this purchase, but it's assumed that this move is to help bolster and just help out Xbox game studios overall. Now, I'm curious about everybody's thoughts on this purchase. Shockley, I'll start with you, buddy. Eric, how does acquiring this company help out Xbox?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a better purchase than Mixer, just from what I hear. But I think it's a great. I think it's a good way to kind of keep some of their games relevant too, because sometimes like Killer Instinct will get kind of thrown to the wayside. So I don't know if they can kind of use this to help maybe the next Killer Instinct, kind of keep its relevance with some of the fighting community, like just out there, because it's not a known like Street Fighter and Smash and all these other competitive games, and it can just help boost any of their other multiplayer games, which they have a decent amount of. So. But yeah, I think that just kind of coincides with their Game Pass. Like they can probably integrate that in there and just kind of keep their, with the whole streaming and social media thing, integrate that with probably Game Pass. And I don't know, just kind of keeps them more relevant or in the game, foothold in the game industry, because they can, use that to kind of launch more of their content or keep it relevant. So. But I don't know too much about it other than just like surface level stuff. So anyone can jump in.
Well, I mean, it does have a prominent fighting game base. Obviously, it's I I think it was based around Smash Brothers, if I'm not mistaken, and then it just kind of expanded to other fighting games and other genres in particular. I mean, this is something that Killer Instinct would definitely highlight in a lot of ways. Makes me really want a new Killer Instinct.
Well, from what I've heard in regards to this, because I had said, "Oh, well, what's it about?" and had inquired about it. It's more of a Microsoft Network deal, meaning that it does involve Xbox. That you have esports, but it's more or less them on their on the social side, I believe, trying to grasp that world, or I guess that reality that's going on with the esports. But it's not going to be really an Xbox thing per se. More or less, it would probably, from what I gathered from it, like you follow a gamer and you become informed about the certain gamer, and it's like a reality show type thing, or they kind of want that social gamer aspect to this isn't like contact creators. This is our professional gamers, and to have them have personalities and to convey that and possibly get a following. We follow sports, we follow sports players, we follow games, and this will be the same exact thing. So this is more of a, just so you know, an MSN thing versus an Xbox thing. But it does utilize Xbox, obviously, the platform, and PC. That's what I heard. So it's not going to do much with Xbox, other than just the platform being used.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't really see the relevance, to be honest with you. Unless like you guys point out, unless another Killer Instinct is coming out. And I mean, we already heard that finally the next Street Fighter is going to be on Xbox, so it's not going to be
Is it really? Was that confirmed?
Yeah. They can't. Yeah, they did confirm it. So I think that they really shot themselves in the foot being tied to Sony. Plus they came out with half a game. You know what I mean? The game wasn't even ready to come out, and they pushed it out too early.
I have the complete edition now. It's really great. But yeah, it was show at the beginning.
What, 5 years later? You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
But but the next iteration will be, I'm sure it'll be cross-platform. You know what I mean? And that's something that it should be. But like I said,
you are correct.
I only see this working if another Killer Instinct is coming out.
You are correct. I missed this news.
Jimmy, what the hell?
Yeah, well, I had the console and then I got sick, but you are correct. They had a leaked email that it's
about a terabyte of information. From what I understood, there was some ransom.
Yeah, we had talked about this with the Capcom leaks. Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of shit that was leaked, including that. Although I'm not sure if they came out about it later, but
yeah, like Sal said, that was a miss by Phil, I would say, and a miss by I guess they got caught up in the hype, but this game really deserves to be multi-plat, just because it's there's such tradition with it. It's a fighting game. It's a fighting game. Like, I mean, people will say, well, there's tradition with Elder Scrolls, and you want that on to be exclusive. I think it's a little different than this, because this is
literally made Maximilian cry when they announced Killer Instinct. When Phil announced Killer Instinct on stage,
that was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why they need them.
That's good news. That's good news for Xbox. Because I heard there was rumblings.
They need to bring him on board again too for the next one.
Street Fighter 4 was huge on esports, if I'm not correct. I mean, I'm not mistaken, right? I was like, that's what everyone played on.
Yeah. They kind of screwed themselves when they went only Sony, because type of thing, when you have esports and you have competitive gaming, Street Fighter is one of the things that you could actually competitively game, like Madden and certain games. And yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
nice
one of
that it's
them
coming
games
to
that you can
Xbox.
bet on, really. You know what I mean? And like you said, I
Yeah,
think Phil, he should have pushed more to get that game on the platform. But you know, hey,
well, he might have been
you can
blindsided
blame
by that.
Capcom too. You know what I mean?
Well,
So like,
at that
Yeah.
time, though, Capcom was doing bad. I mean, they said they weren't going to make the game until Sony stopped
Yeah.
stepping in.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah,
That's
And
the
at
whole
that
reason
point, they
why
only gave him
Downer's here.
half game.
Do you guys know that that's the whole reason why Downer is actually the Downer? Downer, you could tell the story, but that's actually the reason why you got on Twitter, correct?
Oh yeah, just the whole when Phil first came in, I was furious. Like I thought I was gonna jump Xbox ship the day the news broke that
yeah, but
Sony.
you jump back and forth every couple
Oh
months.
yeah. But at that point, I was really in
You're like a
an
lesbian that
emotional
doesn't know
state.
that she's a lesbian until she gets kicked out.
No, he really loved Xbox. That was his first cheat, as you would say.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Halo was his baby girl, but
Yeah, but this
But
one went. I remember you were like, "How could you let this get away?"
oh yeah, because I looked at it from just Street Fighter was huge and still is huge. And it was a worldwide thing, and I just felt like at that time, with Sony grabbing up exclusive rights for Street Fighter, that it was just bad news. Xbox was headed in a bad direction, and yeah, I mean, looking back with it, it's silly, but I guess we love what we love, and we get mad if it's like your favorite football team,
Mhm.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, Xbox decided to go with Dead Rising 3 and 4, and then they pick up.
Well,
Sony picks up.
garbage.
Yeah, and Sony picks up Street Fighter. So, yeah, not exactly equal in terms of
Well,
value.
Capcom kind of brushed themselves off. They had Monster Hunter, which was very successful, and they had a couple of other
well, they
hits.
even made a
Devil
movie
May
after
Cry.
it too. So yeah,
Yeah,
That would
well,
have been the one to get.
It was funny. I remember Phil's comments about the whole deal.
he'll make it
And
up. That's what he said.
Yeah, no. When he was asked specifically, well, what do you think of the Street Fighter deal? And he said, well, these deals happen, and he said he'd rather invest in his own at the time own IPs, which is laughable because at the time they didn't really have anything, So
Well, at that time, he was, and now we know now, he was struggling to get even
right,
the CEO to believe in Xbox
right,
and to
right,
back
yeah.
Xbox.
Terry was just stepping on his toes every which way
Well,
you go. You know what I mean?
I heard Terry's the one that said he saved Xbox, which is laughable, but
No, hell
you know,
no.
yeah, Terry
No,
was Terry.
no,
Let me
moving
tell
Terry
you,
out of the way was the best thing that saved
I
that.
met every Xbox executive and people
Yep.
involved with Xbox, and Terry was the only one that treated you like you were beneath him or you were not allowed. When he came out, I remember I was in New York City and there was a Windows event, and I was there. It was Windows 10, I believe, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
he came out. Everyone came out. Kudo came out, talked to me. Well, everyone was really cool. Larry was there, and you know how the Xbox people are. They're very, very nice. They're very
awesome.
cool.
Mhm.
They're awesome. But Terry, now that guy, he had somebody walking with him, protecting him from anybody that can come up to him and talk to him. Like he had like this personal
he had a
barrier, bodyguard. And I at that time I just looked at that guy and I looked at his face and I'm like, this is just a real jerk. And through the years, I mean, you're never going to get somebody to tell you that somebody, they're going to talk bad. But I heard he was a difficult guy for sure.
Well, Phil has that.
He stifled Phil several times, and and I know, like you said, people won't talk about it unless they're not working there anymore. Then you really hear the stories. But yeah, I know for a fact that Terry was very, very hard on the Xbox brand.
I don't think I don't think he wanted. I heard that he didn't want Xbox One X.
No, he didn't want to put no money into it. He really
he was the one that
it.
pushed for
I think he was the one
Scalebound.
he's the one that wanted to push for Xbox being sold off.
Yes, yeah.
What I heard.
Well, yeah, he was one. Well, that was the thing. So you had an internal struggle from like I would say 2014 to 2017.
17. Yep.
Where Xbox was like they were like, well, you know, obviously they lost a generation. They knew they lost a generation. They knew they lost a generation in 2013.
Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they said, do we detach ourselves from this, sell this off, liquidate it, get money from it, or why? And then Satya was also of the.
He was on the fence too.
He didn't know. He's like, what? You know, he's
yeah.
like, he says he sees the passion in the fans. He was cool, but he was like, where does this fit? You know,
You
we're
see
a
the
crowd-
disadvantage, Phil, is that because
remember, he wanted to meet with us to
Yeah.
gauge our passion.
Yeah,
Like that.
Yeah,
that
he
was,
met with us, but
yeah,
you know,
like he really wanted to talk to us. And what we were there for? What, an hour talking to him?
yeah. But Phil
So
over
he
that
had,
time,
he had a female perspective. He had a couple of MVP perspective. Then he had
Right.
Timmy. He had myself, and we told him straight how it was. I know I did.
right?
When I told him about.
And they asked us
Actually-
about gear. They asked us about gears going multi-plat, and I remember that conversation. But one of the things was Satya was kind of like he was interested in our passion, but like he said, he didn't know how it fit into Microsoft. And the thing that Phil did and struggled with, he had people like Terry, back talking him or whatever.
Yep.
But one of the biggest things was there was two things. When Phil got the Minecraft deal, because that was, I heard, orchestrated by Phil via a tweet,
Right.
a DM.
Right.
And when Terry Myerson left and Phil took over his position and became the pillar of gaming, those were two significant things. But when Phil presented to Satya that we have Game Pass, and we're going to go to xCloud, and we're going to reach these billions of gamers. And he sold him that idea in 2017, 2016 area. That was the most critical point, because if Satya said, I don't believe in this, we're just going to go, we could be looking at the situation where Xbox is no longer Xbox. It's something else, and there's no more exclusive games.
Let me add to that, Tim. Because remember, as soon as Terry, got pushed aside and Phil got a seat at the table.
That's when everything changed.
The big table. No. Because remember, they, like I said, they wanted to sell the Xbox brand off, but ever since Terry got out of the way and Phil got a seat on the big table, Xbox is what, 30% of Microsoft's income now. 30%, bro. 30%.
Well, it definitely was successful, and now they see it. Now, and the funny thing is now they really see a real opportunity.
Max and
and COVID absolutely played into this too, because
of course,
COVID accelerated the digital age of. It's unfortunate in some aspects, but people, even after COVID is done, are going to more likely stay home, want to play video games, want to not, just life changed when COVID hit. And the numbers, they're undeniable. Like gaming in general just freaking skyrocketed because people gave it a chance. And they said,
they had to stay locked at home. Yeah, they were locked at home for months.
And we didn't have, guys, you and I both know, we didn't have gaming this year.
Well,
we'd be in bad shape.
Yeah, we didn't have no podcast. We'd be, I don't even know.
It's interesting to hear the backstory.
In Montana somewhere.
But there was Phil even talked about it in an interview recently. It was posted. It was an article. It was during the launch. His main thing was to sell Satya on Xbox. And, once he got that done, that was a huge hurdle. And then it started to just go. And then, we had the new consoles. And what really excited Satya was Game Pass as a service started to grow like crazy. xCloud, he sees that trajectory where that's going. And again, when the COVID hit, their numbers skyrocketed as well as PlayStation and Nintendo.
Right. Man, gaming as a whole.
Just as a whole. And it's not stopping. That's the thing. People are like, when it goes back to normal, no. I think people...
We're never going back
once
to normal.
Once a person tastes gaming and accepts it, they're always going to game, whether it's going to be one title a year. Even that would have been no titles a year. But like you guys said, they had to give it a chance because you could only watch Netflix for so long. You could only do so many things. And you remember, you could not buy an Xbox. You could not buy anything.
Even the old
in
stuff.
March.
You couldn't buy none of it, man. So it's huge.
Well,
man.
I mean, even before COVID and even before these generations, the average gamer was, as far as them playing, the ages were getting higher and higher. We have age groups now. I think the average gamer now is like 39 or
35,
42,
35 to
something
40,
like that. So you can see that it's quickly becoming a
normalcy.
Universal.
Well,
universal thing.
It's no more taboo, because you think about it. The 35
10 years ago there was a taboo.
No. But remember, the 35 to 45-year-olds were the ones that were playing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat back in the early 90s. So that's us growing up. And then with COVID being stuck at home, it just, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Xbox or whatever PlayStation. You know what I mean? And I'd like to see the internal numbers on how
much
COVID affected.
It's huge.
Yeah,
listen,
I've asked that
I can
question.
talk about my household, the demographic. My youngest is now 4 years old. I'm the oldest in the house. Hey, I'm an old dude, 44. Everyone was gaming in my house. When I was at work, my Xbox was on 24/7. You saw all types of weird stuff. Watch my profile during the day. We got 2 consoles. They were playing everything from the Disney games to whatever is out there for each, appropriate for my kids to play at that age. All over. I mean, my Xbox just stayed on both of them like nonstop, man. So gaming as a whole, it's just been great for us, coping with this pandemic. And listen to the stuff you guys are talking about with Terry Myerson. And out of all the people, I think I've met everybody too, but except him.
He's such a dick.
I never met him.
Sounds like it's a good thing.
Myself.
And, he wasn't very social.
Yeah, man. No. Xbox has been a part of me for what now? Beta testing for 18. Xbox came out 19 years ago. I can't imagine.
Been going to E3 since 2016.
Yeah, going to E3s, meeting everybody. I couldn't imagine. And it's all the things that spawns from it, like the podcast, and us just talking, barbershop talk, with gaming. I can't imagine where gaming would be if it wasn't, Microsoft wasn't, had its toe in the water.
Well, now, a large portion of it now takes up YouTube, and just every aspect of life in general.
TikTok.
And then people make careers out of it. I mean, you see.
Yeah, they're making money. Yeah, you're right.
Making money. It's insane. The sky's the limit when it comes to gaming. It's just everybody can do it. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but guys at the start of the generation, and this is just my Xbox content creators at the start of the generation were making no money. Mm-hmm. At the end of the generation, and now they are making a lot of money, and all these people on YouTube and all these, you could be an idiot on TikTok and you can get, 2 cents a thing, you can make fake videos and it's very easy to get views, but it's just, we are full-fledged into the digital age. I never DoorDashed before this year, and now I DoorDash, more than I probably should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
7-Eleven delivers that pizza now.
Yeah. It's just the fact that we all have changed and society has changed.
Well, not only that, marketing has changed. The way people market, the way Xbox is, they look at us as their marketing train, basically. Right. Oh, and you look at something like, and Tim brought up TikTok. The cranberry guy, right?
Yeah, that guy. He's from LA. I always think about you. Do you know him, South?
No, he's from
your town.
Looks like South.
No,
I thought
he was from Southern California.
Well, you see
when he came out, when he came out, he was staying in Pedro. When he came out,
Yeah, I know, because I remember
yeah, he was
seeing.
staying in Pedro. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
Beverly
but no,
Hills right
he's
now.
from Idaho.
But
Yeah,
okay,
dude,
but
he just
okay,
got a
but
new
the
pad.
point,
He was living in a fucking trailer.
right? But the point is, you see what that can do to a
Yeah.
brand, even to a person
Skating on
and the
on
brand.
drinking a cranberry, dude. And they
So
came and
when
brought him a truck. Like,
right,
Yeah, and I
But
guess what?
Sal,
I want to try the drink.
yeah, no, exactly. And you know what happened? Cranberry juice, Ocean Spray cranberry juice around the country sold out of shelves.
And
Yeah.
the song,
I'm not kidding
they
you.
did.
Was chopping
They
and
got
charging.
free publicity, and that's what we're
Yeah.
doing for game.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song? That song was going charting again. You know, people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Even this song, you're right.
And the crazy thing is like,
Oh,
you know, I
yeah,
hear people
Fleetwood
complain
Mac.
like, hey, you know, they made more songs than just that one. You know, because people were just,
Now he's doing
man, that's a good song. Well, shit, that was
commercials
30
with Snoop
years old
Dogg.
when it came.
Yeah, but
now
when
just
he did that
commercials,
video,
yeah.
wasn't that in San Diego? Wasn't that in San Pedro?
No,
The-
no. He did one in San Pedro where he was skating, but no, the
Yeah.
one with cranberry juice was in Idaho. He lives in Idaho.
Oh wow!
That's
Did
crazy.
Yeah,
not
but
know
no, but
that.
when he came out and started meeting everybody in LA, he was staying in Pedro.
Don't you have one of those bikes? I've seen you on
No.
on Facebook. Or you were driving it in a on the hotel. I guess
the
it was.
scooter.
It was-
No, the scooter. That
Yeah.
was we're waiting for Megatron. I was skating around.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Megatron was up in the hotel upstairs, and I'm skating around like hopping off curbs and shit. Remember that, Megatron?
Yeah.
More fun
I'm like
than
trying
me.
to call him. I'm like, come on, dog, where you at? Let's go. We gotta go. And he's like, oh man, oh. And I was like, fuck it, I'm skating to do this.
I sent that video to who? Who does the indie games for Microsoft again? What's his name? iCat.
Charla.
It's Chris Charla.
Yeah, Charlotte. I sent that to him, and we were going back and
Oh,
forth. Because when I saw that, it reminded me of him because he's the only one that I know that skateboards at
Yeah,
Microsoft.
same here. Yeah.
You know, you'll catch him in the parking lot.
When you sent that to him, did you come up with the title like midget go-kart racing or midget?
Oh,
I didn't say that.
we clowning now. All right,
Definitely love
Jeffrey.
Hey, I had to get you back for the Kojima bit.
Touche.
Yeah, that's good. That was good though.
Well, unfortunately,
me in a kart race with a big ass head. All right.
yeah. Well, unfortunately, I heard the two. Another thing I heard, which isn't good, is that E3 is pretty much done. Remember when Phil committed to E3 and then everyone started pulling out? Vendors pulled out. Jeff pulled out. I would be very surprised if they have another E3 this year. But I have heard that FanFest is still probably going to go on. It's handled by somebody different than Aaron
In what
now.
way though? I mean,
No,
It's not handled by it's not handled by the same people.
Okay.
No,
So-
Chris moved on.
Gotcha.
Chris
So they'll have a different team.
Yeah, Aaron's not a part of it. So
Gotcha.
Well, that's a shame.
I don't know, man. It's sad. I mean, FanFest was
so
a big
great.
experience.
People have no idea
what?
what we
No,
have.
No, exactly. People, you know what? When FanFest and Xbox treating their fans and their customers like they do, and that's why people sit there. Oh, you're just a Xbox stan or a bot or whatever. But the thing is, dude, they treat us so good.
Yeah,
I don't
they
care.
did.
I'll always say this. I've never, in any company, any business, industry, whatever, I've never felt like they cared about me other than just my money than what Xbox has done for us. And I'm not saying me, I'm saying us.
Well, you've been a part of pretty much every. I'm sorry, Megatron. You can go.
No. I'm right with South saying.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome experience, man. FanFest or not even for that matter. You know, I've done other events too with them.
Yeah.
And it's been top-notch.
They pull out the red carpet. I mean, I remember the first FanFest that we went to, and South's been to every FanFest as well as I have, and I think Megatron, you've been to everyone but one. But the first one, they literally had Satya Nadella hanging out with gamers, Youssef Mehdi. We were sharing. We were eating this elaborate food. unbelievably catered, giving things away like posters, jackets, backpacks. They really I have to give them that credit, and they never really got the credit that they deserved. But they definitely pulled out the red carpet.
No, and it's crazy because we actually got a few numbers, I think last year, about how much these fan fests really cost, and they were not cheap at all.
Yeah. Well, one thing I heard too is that when Xbox decided to go to their venue with the Microsoft Theater, that Sony complained.
They saved a lot of money. Yeah,
Sony was like, "Well, we're not saving money like that," and that was one of the reasons why they pulled out in 2018. Or was it? Yeah, it was 2019 they pulled out.
Microsoft still had a booth there in the Expo Center, but it just wasn't as. It was all Mixer at that time, I think, right?
Right. Yes, that's the way they got around it. Supposedly, that's the way they got around it. If you remember, they had that Mixer. The first in 2018,
Dome, whatever it was.
Yes. Yeah. But
the prices were just astronomical. I mean, even a small one was upwards of 90,000. It's insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
But good times. So I mean, people that call us experts, they kind of don't know the stuff that how people have treated us and stuff like that. Not speaking for everyone on the podcast, but we're all passionate fans. But I would have loved for everyone to experience it.
Me
but
too.
now, just with the whole thing, every year we would, it was a thing. But now I have a feeling that it's going to be at least another year until things get back to where.
Yeah, 2021 is already dead.
It's already dead.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of know.
Let's be honest, they were already been planning it next month for each
exactly.
one. So yeah, it's not going to happen.
Shame. I was hoping to finally go to my first E3, so it seems like I have a while to wait. Oh, well.
I think eventually it's going to happen.
2022, it'll open up.
Hey, but I don't know. But what do you guys think about them having something in, like, say, November, like towards the end of the year?
It depends. Yeah, I think November will be clear. But they have a mandate. Microsoft has a mandate. Within Microsoft, anything within Microsoft, they do not want any kind of gatherings until August.
Yeah. They're not allowing travel either.
Yeah, until August of 2021, and then they're going to reevaluate at that time. So they could even extend it. Personally, I feel that we might be out of the woodwork at that point, but again, the stuff like you guys said, they plan 4 months, 5 months in advance. So you're already 5 months behind when you're clear.
Such a downer,
you know what, Timmy? Even though there won't be an E3, I think you're right though. There will be a fan fest.
I heard that's going to happen, but it might be in Chicago, it might be in New York, it might be in Florida. It might be. It definitely could be in LA. I think LA could be in Vegas.
Well,
but
Vegas. But I honestly, I can see it being in Seattle.
Seattle, agreed. Yeah, I think that's what they want. They want to globalize it, and it could be in UK one year, could be in
Yeah, but they've been doing that already. Going like they go to
London. You got
Brazil.
Mexico.
Yeah, they go to Mexico. They go to Brazil. They They got one in the UK. They do that already. So
they should have it at the Nintendo Land.
That's opening up soon, right? The first quarter of next year, I think.
Yeah, it's opening up in February. Hopefully, things get a little better by then, but I don't know.
I really miss you guys, though. I'm getting all sentimental and emotional. I really, down at this. Well, I had my share or a couple of glasses,
After that Giant game, you're probably happy.
Yeah, they won Seattle.
I could not believe it won that game.
Place. But I miss you guys, man. It's just all us getting together, man, seeing each other's faces, laughing and having.
I remember when that. I remember it was almost this year. Just sucks so fucking much. Excuse my language, but I remember in February, March. It was March, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe there's still a shot. They can have Fan Fest. And I remember when that news came down, I was like, this sucks. because we were all planned. I had my tickets. I had my plane tickets. I was all set up. You were all set up. The guys from Lord, Iron Lords, King David,
Yeah,
Because we're going into a new console generation. That's what it was. We had the new consoles coming out. We were already, we had so much fun in 2019 E3, and then going into that with the same expectations, but even bigger. And then in the letdown, I mean, you didn't see any sports playing. Everything was getting canceled. People losing their jobs. Like, everything sucks. We're still in the same year.
Yeah,
I don't know what year. It's like some type of Bermuda Triangle we're in right now. Some type of alternate reality. Like, it sucks. It absolutely.
It'll be a nice new year. I'll tell you that much.
And if it wasn't for gaming, man, the mental health would be at an all-time low. I'd be on all types.
It's still low. It's still low, to be honest. But
and Tim, what do you mean August? Biden's going to make everything go away next week. What are you talking about?
Time to sit down.
I thought Trump.
Yeah, but marijuana. Hey, QAnon, shut up.
Jeremy, it's the 11th hour bringing up politics. Typical Jeremy.
Oh, downer at it again. Okay, guys.
Some Lysol and Drano after the show.
That's what we're going to have fan fest. We're going to have shots.
I want to get loaded real quick. Unlike some people here that just get loaded, over time. I'm going to get loaded quick off that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we all know you're a lightweight.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this episode up. But really fun show tonight. Talking about a whole boatload
2 hours.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job, South. You're fun to always be here.
Yeah, great, man.
I love you guys.
And people were commenting on this game that Invader's video, Shadow Warriors 2. It looks like a next-gen game. It looks that good. It's a good game.
No, it's it's really good.
And not too many people know about it.
It's in Game Pass too. So, guys, if you haven't played it, definitely
check it out.
Definitely check it out. It is so much fun. I still got to beat it, but it's a lot of fun, guys. It's got it's really funny, lots of good dialogue, and the gameplay it's a lot of fun. I highly suggest checking it out. But yeah, guys, great commentary tonight from everybody on the panel, and also a huge shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. Loved the chatter going on in the live chat. I'm just scrolling down, and just lots of fun stuff. Thanks for being here, fellas. And before leaving, guys, remember to hit that like button and share this episode out on social media. Now let's get to the outros, and I'll start with Jeremy, buddy. Good show tonight, pal. Where can everybody find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on Xbox Live at Downer Space J. You can also find me on Twitter. It's Lone Master Who 07. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
QAnon.
QAnon. All right. Yeah, you got that right. Moving down the list. Of course, I got to mention Southbound, buddy. It was great having you on again. It's great to see you as always. Where can everybody follow you at, pal?
You know me. I like to pop in and out every now and then. But you know what? Hey, listen, I'll be on more regularly now. Life's getting more settled down now with all this COVID bullshit and everything. But now,
so instead of 8 months, we'll see you like in 5 months?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It should be like a 2-month turnaround, every couple months. But you know what? I'm really not on Twitter that much, but you guys can hit me up at Southbound 110. I like to talk to everybody. It's just like I said, I just kind of, been in my little man cave hiding away the last few months. But yeah, I'm making a comeback, stronger and better than ever.
Well, great to have you, man. It was fun show. Fun having you on, Sal. It is, man.
Likewise, things ain't the same without my boys.
Vader.
Invader drop.
Invader.
Canadian.
Oh,
Earth
yes.
to Canadian.
Earth to Canadian. I'm here, buddy. I'm here. But yeah, Southie, always great having you here, and we hope to see you more often, of course, depending on situations, obviously. But
bet on it.
all right, perfect. I'm sure the chat's really looking forward to hearing that. Megatron pal, where can everybody follow you at?
Hey man, as always, you hit me up on Twitter, Megatron_1975. Hit me up on my gamertag, which is Megatron1. And this was fun, man. Shout out to everybody that came in the chat. Pong Soul, I've seen K Mega in there, a bunch of new people. Mill, if I'm saying this name right, man. I appreciate when these guys come by to even to come listen and take their time out on a Sunday. And yeah, it's fun. It was a fun show, man. Back to playing games.
Got that right, brother. All right,
That's
moving
right.
further down. Centurion pal, good show. Where can everybody follow you?
Yeah, it's been a great show, man. It was fun kicking back, just, relaxing, listening to you guys chat about E3s of Christmas past. Never been to one, so it's always fun to listen to people talk about them.
Who's breaking into whose car?
Yeah, shit. Someone just had the car stolen. It's gone.
Phoenix,
Bye.
Arizona for you, everybody. Anyways,
It's
so
a
for
dust
those
storm.
who do want to find me in my crazy neighborhood, you can find me at Centurion1307 on YouTube, Twitter, and Xbox Live. I also kick it right here every Sunday on the TXR Podcast and every Saturday on the Shop Podcast.
Totally good people there over at the Shop Podcast. And moving further on, Eric Shockley, definitely some great points tonight, brother. Where can everybody follow you?
Yep, as always, find me at Shock Nero on Twitter, Easy Shock on Xbox Live. But yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Totally. Now, Tim Dog needed to go. He needed to drain the Xbox lizard a little early there, but otherwise he'll see you here next Sunday. And of course, I'm Invader, and as always, you can find me over on my YouTube channel for content at Invader Gaming, and you can find me on Twitter at Invader_1986. Honestly, guys, great show tonight, and we will look forward to talking to you all next week. Again, we have something special. We got a giveaway going on for the next show, so keep an eye on there. Set the date, set the clock, and keep an eye on the chat. Until next time, guys, have a good one.